Can you see the pink new foliage?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Look,
oh, isn't that pretty?
It's an absolute match. If you picked up these bloom pads, there you go. It's an absolute winner together. But for a small ornamental tree, you can't go wrong with this dappled willow. If you've got an area where you'd like to have a small tree and it's so wet that they rot,
yes,
this is the one.
Well, I have to tell you, this is a perennial favorite. So
Yes.
while we're saying that it's new today, we have offered dappled pink willow trees many times over the 20 years you and I have been together.
And people buy them in pairs.
Yeah, people love this tree. And for the price, $57.14, this is a great investment in your landscape, something that you will love seeing and enjoying its beauty year after year for decades. We also have it available for you on an easy pay plan that expires at the end of the day. This is our only quantity of the season.
And then that'll be it. And we don't have them on every year
No, we
either.
don't.
I'm always
We don't.
wanting them. But it's one of those staples. I always have it in my garden. And you can look at that. This is the way it starts. In the beginning, when the foliage first comes out, it is white as snow. The whole tree is solid white. Then it goes to pink. That's actually the first. When it first starts, it's that color.
Like that, yes.
Then it goes to the pink, and then it goes to variegated, which is green and white, and all the new growth on it will be the pink. You can either let it go into a big cloud of branches,
Yes.
or you can trim it like a lollipop. If
Oh.
you love to trim things like privet hedges, that's the wild loose look. You can trim it, and that's the way I have it on my property. I have it trimmed like tight little lollipops.
Yes.
And it looks more like French gardens. And I love that look. So if you're a control freak and you can't leave the pruners alone, you're in luck with this one. And this is my favorite picture of all. There's Barbara King.
Oh my gosh.
And there are two of those willows that have been trained over an archway, and that is my dog, Dutch.
Aww.
That's Dutch, and Kyle, her son, has my dog, Dutch. But it's a great photo op. So you don't always have to have an archway of climbing roses or vines. It could actually be
That's amazing.
these trees. They're beautiful like that. It's more of a European look, and because it's not green, see, imagine if that were all green, it would disappear into the background of green.
Right.
But because you've got that great foliage, which is what my mentor, Rosemary Berry from England, told me.
Yes.
She said, you Americans just don't understand it. You got to have good foliage.
Yeah.
And this delivers big time.
Can I do this down at the beach?
Oh gosh, they're great on the shore.
Are they?
Well, any place that you've ever seen willows.
Yes.
You see willows down there.
guess you're right, yeah.
They're all the same. This is a fancy version of the common willow.
Wow.
And it's not a weeper like a weeping willow. It wants to be somewhat upright, but it's small scale, ideal for the small garden, and it really
Look at me
is.
looking at you like
It's a signature.
we're working on this summer, you know.
We're gonna do it, and I'm looking forward to it because
Yeah.
we'll get you some tomatoes going down there
Yep.
by the shore. Then you've got this ornamental thing that
Gorgeous.
shows up.
How big does it get? Is it going to be ginormous, or is it
Well,
a pretty accent tree in a yard?
This is a pretty accent tree, and this will be 8 or 9 feet tall.
Oh, that's doable, right?
And
Yes.
and you can shear it. And keep it tighter than that, like a lollipop.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful like that, but they're also
Yeah.
gorgeous loose. But if you get into an area where there's a lot of wind, they don't mind that either.
Okay.
Any place you've seen any kind of willow growing,
Yes.
this will work.
Full sun? Like, what are the requirements for trees?
Full sun to just morning sun.
Great.
But if you got it in, say, hot afternoon sun, it'll be more colored up.
And-
the more sun it has, the more, yeah.
And this is what you're being sent. So what can I expect in the first year?
The first year, what's going to happen is that this will put on another 3 feet of growth.
Wow.
Because what we did, we trimmed it back, so it's already a nice, tidy habit.
Nice.
Then the crown will erupt, and it'll send out long bits, and you can decide if you want to trim it or not. I waited a couple of years before I started trimming mine.
Yes.
Because I just liked seeing that long, loose look.
Yeah.
Then after it got bigger, I started trimming it because I just couldn't help myself.
That color, if we can show those images
It's
again.
just beautiful.
I mean, it's pretty. Look at that. I want to look out and see that.
And you can, if you've got one of these small trees in your front yard,
Yes.
it stands out from everything else on the street.
Yep.
Also, if you've got a privacy hedge or a privacy fence, you know, like with the arborvitae hedges,
Yes.
plant one of these forward of that, and the dark green backdrop will make everything pop on this. If I've got a white stucco house, so when mine is looking like this, it's really, really
Gorgeous.
dreamy looking.
Gorgeous. What would you like underplant with this if you're doing it in the ground?
Beautiful. Sun patience underneath it are spectacular.
pretty.
We've got those coming up. In fact, I'm going to pull the tree over there so you can see what they look like together.
And then real quickly, like, is this hardy in all parts of the country?
It needs a frost. But if it doesn't get a frost, it will still live a few years.
Okay.
But it does need a frost. Cold hardy, like willows. If you've seen willows anywhere, if there are willows in your neighborhood, this one will grow there. It's just a fancy pants version.
Dappled pink willow.
Yeah.
Love it. M57258 is your item number. 3 payments of easy pay. Again, we don't offer it every season, but when we do, it's usually a favorite. A lot of you will buy more than one of those. Again, with the free shipping, the 3 easy payments, get that while you can. And then also coming up, cannot wait to talk about this. Oh my gosh, I'm such a fan of Rose of Sharon. I especially love the Bluebird, but this is actually the Dazzling Design series, so it's double delight. It's that beautiful